couple of Democrats actually representing, and they're marginals, right? So that would be Daryl Albertine, Antoine Thompson, actually not a marginal. He's in the Buffalo area. I mean, you have some people in there, and Valesky, who's in the Syracuse area. I mean, you mentioned them. They're getting a lot of attention because they want to hold those seats. But on your conference, when they treated the minority in this sort of shabby manner, was led by Joe Bruno. And if I remember correctly, there was only one guy, John Bonasack, who said that he thought that Joe Bruno should give up the leadership position after it became clear that the FBI was investigating his outside business interests. He's just been sentenced to 2 years. First of all, your reaction to that, but also, do you, looking back, and hindsight is, of course, 2020, think that Joe Bruno should have stepped down from his leadership? Do you think things would be different now for you guys? Because, you know, that's what the Democrats are going to try to tie you to.
Let me first say, I believe Joe Bruno did step down before he was convicted. People seem to forget that. He stepped down in June. I believe he was convicted
He said
later.
He gave up his whole seat.
He was under investigation,
yes,
but you know what? So are most of the Democrats in the Senate right now under investigation. Malcolm Smith is under investigation. Kevin Parker's under investigation. You know, others are under investigation. So let's look at the past and say, okay, let's learn from it. All right. Maybe the bigger issue is, should some of the Democrats who are under investigation right now step aside and learn from the Joe Bruno incident? And should we learn as a Senate rather than just a conference? Yes. That's why I say people in this state are getting fed up. They see that the corruption continues, and right now it all seems to be on the Democratic side of the aisle. We want a check and balance system. We want to change it. So, you know, listen, Joe Bruno, I think he was a very good leader. Certainly his personal behavior got him into trouble. He's paying the consequences for that trouble right now. But right now we've got to look at the future. We've got to look at the future in New York State. And under the Democrats in the Senate, it's a New York City-run operation. The people of the Hudson Valley and upstate New York are not getting their fair share. And you mentioned it. You said there's 3 members. And those 3 members seem to be voting with New York City constantly. Albertine, Valesky, and Stokowski.
Well, not constantly, but frequently. More often than not. More often than not.
Yeah, more often than not. 95% of the time.
Let's assume that upstate would, in fact, be better off under your argument. How many seats?
I think the state would be fair.
Where are you going to pick up the seats?
Good question. We feel very confident that we have Patty Ritchie, county clerk in St. Lawrence, running against Daryl Albertine. We think our chances are very good there. Andy Russo is actually a pianist. And
was he your preferred
part
candidate?
He's our
preferred.
There's
2 there, right? Isn't Dan Leica also?
Dan Leica is, you know, Dan Leica is a good candidate. We think Andy Russo is a better candidate, and he is, you know, he's a concert pianist, plays all over the world, and he is a Republican, a conservative. He's raising money. We think he can beat David Valesky. Quinn is the assemblyman out in Buffalo. His dad was a very, very successful congressman. The name is solid out there. We think he can beat Bill Stokowski. I'd go jump quickly to Long Island, and you have 2 good races there, one against Craig Johnson, and a gentleman by the name of Martins is running against Craig. And over to the Foley seat, we have Lee Zeldin, who we believe is going to be a winner. So there's 3 or 4 seats there, and we're soon going to be announcing someone against Stuart Cousins and some of the other folks.
That would be Mary Amicone, wouldn't it?
Stay tuned.
And also, are you backing Don Nagalski? Are you the GOP chairman in Erie County? Is that,
you know, right now it appears we haven't made any immediate decisions, but it appears that Nagalski has received, I think, unanimously the Erie County endorsement. He's now going to the other counties. There's a former sheriff, Galvin, who is interested in whether he decides to go after that or not. We're just kind of playing it out. We're excited, Liz. We have great candidates. We didn't have those candidates 2 years ago or 4 years ago. We have candidates that are coming out of the woodwork are saying, you know, we believe that there needs to be a check and balance system. We believe that the Democrats have raised taxes, increased spending, have not done the right thing in the state, and they want to run.
Okay, and they're going to call you the party of no. They're going to say, you know what, Tom Libous, you consistently voted no on everything that we tried to put forward. You've been obstructionist. You haven't wanted us to do anything. It was a party line vote on the furloughs.
And let me tell you what I tell my constituents when that comes up. I vote no when it comes to higher taxes. I vote no when it comes to more ridiculous government spending. I vote no when it comes to all of those things that they put in last year's budget, the Rockefeller drug laws that are putting criminals on the streets, and they voted last year. And here's what I voted no against: that if a criminal wants to become a teacher, they sealed his records. Therefore, the people in that school district and parents would never even know whether or not that criminal molested children or what they did. Those records are sealed. That's what I voted no against. That's what the 30 Republicans voted no against.
That was a one-house bill?
No, that was it. That was in the Rockefeller drug laws. That was in the budget last year. So that's what we're voting no against. I think our no votes are what the people want to hear. They're sick of too much spending. They're sick of too much taxes. They're sick of what's going on. Prison closures.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty. And you know what, Liz? The Republican Party, we did put budgets together. We were able to put budgets together. So for them to say that we're the party of no is pretty ridiculous.
Okay, but your party used to be very cohesive. And you seem to be in pretty good shape from what you say. And of course, we accept that you are, of course, representing the best of your party or the best face on the Senate Republicans situation. The rest of the ticket, the top of the ticket, is a mess.
Well,
are you still you're still supporting Rick Blasio, I would assume.
I'm a supporter of Rick Blasio. I have been from the beginning. I think Rick would be a great candidate for governor.
Okay, and what's going on?
Well, here's what's going on. The media, not necessarily this station, loves to pick their favorites. I mean, they do it. It's human nature. We all pick our favorites. And obviously, Andrew Cuomo was the favorite, so whoever is going to run on the Republican side is automatically the underdog, automatically number two. And so they're going to have to try harder. They're going to have to work harder to get attention so that their message gets out. Cuomo has been the favorite for 2 years now. So it doesn't matter who
This isn't about the mess of your party. I mean, okay, and also I have to cut you off just one, but let me ask you this.
I'll listen.
Will Steve Levy get on the ballot? And if not, will Rick Blasio be strong enough to at least make a good showing?
Sure, good questions. I think there's a possibility that Steve Levy, that they may make some rule change, that Steve Levy may have an opportunity to carry petitions. But I still think that at the end of the day, Rick Blasio is going to be the nominee. I think our party will be united. I think we'll have the rest of the ticket fleshed out, and we'll move on. I think until the convention takes place, this is the turmoil that takes place in any party. The Democrats just happen to have an anointed one, and that happens to be the Attorney General, and he's going to be the nominee. He's going to be their nominee. It's going to happen in 2 weeks.
And Senator, and I'm actually going to have to see you in Manhattan because I have to cut you off here. I'm really so sorry about that.
I look forward to it.
But thanks very much, Tom Libous, for coming in.
Pleasure. Thank you.